Have you ever wondered what the favorite word is of an empath? Or how do you know you're an empath? In this video, I'm going to share with you why it's your favorite word and how you want to go about starting to change it. Before we begin, my name is Natasha Williams, and if you are new to my channel, I share with you information about how you can overcome narcissistic abuse and find your purpose, find your true calling in life, because often what narcissistic abuse does is it derails you, and a lot of people never find their way back. And my aim is to uplift society as well as uplift each person one at a time. So what is the favorite word of an empath? I will tell you, firstly, that there are two low vibrational energies that an empath operates from, and those are guilt and shame. Most of my clients that come to see me are in guilt and shame. When you feel sorry for somebody, you say shame. And the reason why you say shame is because you're feeling for that person. You are a person who feels. An empath is somebody who feels at a deep level. And if you liken it to a dog has different range of hearing to humans. A dog can hear certain sounds and smell certain things that we can't smell. Their range is outside of the scope. And an empath is just more sensitive. We're more highly attuned. So we can feel emotions at a level that other normal people within a certain range can't feel. So you can't switch them off. What also happens is you are attuned to other people's emotions. So you're highly sensitive to what's going on in their space. And the reason why you are that way is there's two reasons. One, you're born with that ability. We'll get into that shortly. The other way is that when you're born into a situation where you're in a family that is not attuned, you become hyper-vigilant. Most light workers are born into families that are not healthy. They're dysfunctional in some way. And just on that note, I think most families in the world are dysfunctional because we come from such a raw history of violence and slavery and incest, and there's so much trauma. There's been wars, there's been concentration camps, there's been interbreeding, there's been all sorts of stuff, famines that have happened in the world. And as a result, everybody is carrying that trauma, but we've never learned how to release the trauma. We've never learned how to heal from it. And what an empath does is we come into this world to heal the planet. You will know if you're a light worker, because you will know that you came here with a calling, and your calling was to heal the planet. Now, the problem is you're coming into a dysfunctional family and you want to heal the family. The problem is they don't understand that you are there to heal them. Because you take everything so personally, they push your emotions aside and you start living two lives. The one life is where you're just going along with what everybody wants you to do. And the other life is where you're feeling deeply at a deep level that you just can't connect. They just don't understand you. You feel like, what on earth are you doing here? There should be more to life. You just want to go home to where you actually come from. But now you came here with a purpose, and your purpose was to uplift the planet. But you cannot uplift anything or anybody when you're coming from a place of shame, when you're coming from a place of guilt. And so what I want to share with you is going all the way back. The reason why light workers are struggling so much is because many eons ago, we came here with a purpose to do to this planet, and we failed in our mission. And because we failed in our mission, and a lot of people fell in consciousness, there's a lot of guilt around that. There's a lot of payback that we've been feeling. And you will feel like if you know that you are an empath or a light worker, you've been persecuted throughout lifetimes. You might have remembered certain past lives. I certainly remember some of my past lives, and they're not pretty. I think doing past life regression is, some might see it as fun. I find it highly traumatic because there were not many happy lifetimes that I can remember. And maybe if I was able to go really far back and find those memories, I would be able to connect with the other parts of me. But I remember being burnt at the stake. I remember drowning and being eaten by a shark. And the person I was with, they survived. I didn't. And all these things, they just kind of I remember being executed as a nun in China. I wasn't a Catholic nun. I remember all these events, like being sold off by my then mother as a child for money to help the family. And every lifetime you're coming back in with that burden that wasn't healed. You're coming back in thinking there's something fundamentally wrong with you. And you don't have to go back and heal your past lives. You don't have to go back and heal all those traumas. What you can do is heal the fundamental guilt. Because a person that is stuck in any kind of toxic relationship, they stay out of loyalty and they stay out of guilt. And I hear a lot of my clients saying, because I feel so bad for him. He had such a bad childhood. I feel so bad because I don't want to leave him when he can't cope on his own. And shame, nobody else wants to um, be there for him. I'm his only support. And what happens is it just keeps you there. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you perpetuating the cycle. And when you realize that everybody has choice, you choose to work on yourself. You choose to go out of your way and give more. You also had a bad childhood. And just because you are loyal to a fault doesn't mean that's something wrong with you. Not at all. That makes you the most amazing person you are. But you're trapped in a cycle where you can't get out. And the only way for you to get out is to get away from that toxic cycle so that you can actually go and fulfill your life purpose. And being under the command of somebody that is toxic, that is heavy, that is controlling, manipulative, it just, because you're so sensitive, it destroys your way of thinking normally. It destroys your whole reason why you came here. You start thinking, well, maybe you are wrong. Maybe there's something wrong with you. And so how do you do that? How do you actually heal the guilt? How do you get away? You start by healing the guilt of saying, I did wrong, and forgive yourself for the wrongs that you did, being in a consciousness that you were in. And when you start realizing that we've all done wrong, we've all been at fault, nobody deserves to be staying in a situation where they never ever are given remorse. Even a person who gets life sentences for murder gets off on bail. Even people like that, so they've had a chance to pay for their sins, and now they are free to go. And you have to decide how much punishment do you need to go through? How many lifetimes do you have to give of yourself and sacrifice before you've now repaid the debt? And so it might be that in a past life you did hurt that person that you're with, and it's their time to get back at you. But what happens is when you constantly stay in the situation where you just keep repeating the same cycle, you're just acting out old stories. You're acting out old beliefs. And what is better for you to do is to say, instead of me acting out past stuff, it's not useful, it's not helpful to stay keeping my gifts from the world, keeping myself away from the world to keep one person happy who's intent on not making me happy and in fact destroying the world. How can I rather pay it forward? How can I pay it forward? And you're not harming that person by leaving them. In fact, here's the beauty. Whenever you stay in a toxic relationship, you are enabling the other person. You're allowing their behavior by you allowing it. As soon as you say, I will not take that behavior, I will not own it, it's not my behavior, it's your behavior, then you're taking away, first of all, you're putting up a boundary. But secondly, you're saying, I don't need to be carrying your behavior. You need to take responsibility for it. And by doing that, you're giving them the chance to heal themselves. Because for as long as you're carrying it, they don't have to carry it for you. They don't have to do anything. You just have to take it on. So by giving it back to them and saying, it's not mine, it's yours, I don't wish to be carrying that anymore. You're now giving them the chance to grow. And if they don't want to take it, that's up to them. How many chances have you given them already? How many times have you spoken and asked for certain things? And you're not asking for a lot. You're asking for respect. You're asking to be heard. You're asking for follow through. Don't just say it, do it. The problem is you're asking it from somebody who has no intention of doing that. And it's so draining on your gifts. If you could work with people that were uplifting, that were motivated, that wanted to share and do things for the world, how different would your life be? Instead of keeping yourself stuck behind closed doors, listening to somebody who's intent on telling you you're not worth anything, when you already know you are. And my experience of people that are light workers, that are empaths, are that they are extremely loyal, they're hardworking, they're diligent, they pay attention to detail, they're almost to a point of obsession. They never let up. They don't rest. They're always learning. They're on a path of self-development. These are people that can really shift the world. And we do it the way that Gandhi did it. We do it in a gentle way. We don't do it by force. And the way that Gandhi beat the British was by amassing an army of people. And I would like to amass an army of light workers so that we can stop tolerating it, because my favorite saying in the world is that evil flourishes when good men do nothing. And you have a message. My message is to help you share your message with the world. My path, my destiny is to show people the way. I am not the way. I'm just a light shower. I show you the way. What you do with it is up to you. But all of us, we all have our unique talents and gifts. And for as long as you stay stuck in guilt and shame, you will never be able to share those gifts. And I do coaching where I help people one-to-one. It's not a group generic process. It's where I sit with you and we heal individually your guilt, your shame, so that you can free yourself up to go living in a life where you're clear. And this is not a sales thing. It's just something that I offer. You don't need to take me up on it. But if you're looking for somebody who really gets it and really understands, I used to be in that space. I'm not in that space anymore. I feel for people. And as soon as I feel for them, I let it go. And you can do the same, because as soon as you heal the trauma that's rooted in our race, it's rooted in your family system, it's rooted in your DNA. As soon as you heal it within you, you heal your family, you heal society, you heal the world. And by not doing it, you're just allowing what's happening now to perpetuate and get worse, because evil is like a weed. If you don't keep it in check, it just takes over. And that's what's been happening right now. And it's up to us. It's up to us light workers and empaths to do something about it, because we can see what's coming. We can see what's coming before the rest of the world can see what's coming. And that's my message to you. So I hope this resonates. And if you want to comment, have anything to say about the video, if you'd like to share anything with me, or you'd like me to answer other questions, I'm happy to answer. I've done a lot of work over the years, and I know that there's a lot of help that you can get from me. Have an awesome day.